It's a little bit dark here. It's almost 5:30 in the afternoon. But wanted to talk to you a little bit about buying properties and when is the best time to buy. I have this come up a lot, and people usually do the opposite of what they say they're going to do. I'm going to give you some good examples of this. I mean, I've been guilty of this myself. It's very difficult to actually know when to buy and then exercising it at that point in time. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Everybody, if you ask a person when is the best time to buy, when the market's high or when it's low, they'll always tell you when it's low. Okay, the problem with that is people don't do that. I'll give you an example right here. I was talking to quite a few people when Bitcoin was up to right around 60,000 a coin, and instead of people cashing out, you had all kinds of people swapping in Bitcoin as it was going up. And a lot of people didn't want to take money out of crypto to buy property, and because they kept thinking it's just going to go through the moon. The problem with this is you ask a person, is it better to buy when it's low and sell when it's high? They'll always tell you, yeah, but they just do the opposite than when it happens. And several people, I told them to take money out off the table at least while the market was high with Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies they had, and then go ahead and buy cash and properties in St. Kitts that are at good low prices right now because the dollar has been real high. Remember, I told you that the dollar runs, when the dollar's high, properties in emerging market countries and equities typically stay low or don't go up as fast during that period of time. So what happens is that's the time to go in it at that point, because when the dollar plummets, what happens at that point is properties in emerging market countries at that time go through a frenzy in buying. This is what happened from 2000 to 2011 in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it happened also in Panama. Panama went through the same thing. They're both emerging market countries, and they both went through the same thing there. Also, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do three things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell next to that subscription button. And I would like to hear from you if you got a question or comment, put it below. And also, if you want some help in legally getting your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport quickly, and your net worth is at least 1 million US, and your income is around 150,000 US dollars a year, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. Okay, now, when you're getting properties, you want to try to look for where the bottoms are, okay? And I'll give you some hints, which I've done this before. St. Kitts is an emerging market country, and equities, which are stocks, usually run ahead of real estate. What happens is when real estate goes down, typically over here, emerging markets has gone down before it did as far as equities go. Okay, usually the equities go first, whether it's up or down, real estate follows. It just takes longer usually for real estate to have the effect. This is what happened when the stock market caved in 2009. And what happened was we really didn't have the real estate to slow down here until about 2011. So it was about 2 years after that, from the time the market started to cave in the real estate, actually in the market in equities started to cave in, and then it started affecting real estate later. So this is what you see. Now, if you go on the internet, because people always wonder when is the best time to buy, this is how you do this. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this. Go on the internet, pull up a chart of emerging market equities. Okay, you can pull it up and hit where it says maximum. Go back about 20 years, okay? And you'll see that emerging market equities, the chart will show you that the emerging market equities were selling for about what they are right now in 2007. Okay, so the peak in 2007 is about where it is right now, and it dropped down, came back up, dropped down, came back up. But the point I'm trying to make is it's about exactly where it was back in 2007. Now, real estate here has gradually gone up, but not like a huge run up like it did from 2000 to 2011. So we're at a point right now where because the dollar has been so high, that's the time to go in. Because what happens is when people go in and start buying, when the dollar has plummeted, there's a frenzy in buying from people that have sold their property, and then they're going to buy something else. So it starts a chain reaction. And I still remember during probably around 2008, 2009, people weren't even using realtors. They were putting their properties out, selling for a week or 2 weeks later. I mean, this is how quick properties were selling back then. But that was back when the dollar had taken a huge plunge. This is why I tell people, don't get single family homes out here unless you like dogs barking. Okay, I've given you that before. Okay, it's important you look at that. If dogs don't bother you, then fine. But these are warnings I've given you, so if you ever get houses where dogs bark, you remember the warning that I've given you many times on videos. You're better off getting in planned unit developments, like I've said before, or where they're homes or they're condominiums. That's the best way to buy if you're going to be doing that. So you want to, do your homework before you start buying properties in St. Kitts. Now, so back to this getting properties at good valuations. First of all, you got to understand that when the dollar takes a huge plunge, it's cheaper for people in the euro. It's cheaper for people that, like in Europe and also in the UK, to buy properties at that point. So what happens is that's when the frenzy in the buying in properties really takes off. And this is what you got to be aware of, because if you don't understand this, okay, you're not going to make money or as much money long term, because you're not going to know how the markets work. You need to understand about currencies, and you need to understand something about how they relate to real estate and where that real estate's located. Okay, so these are things I'm trying to teach you, because it will give you a better basis on understanding when is the time to buy and when is the time to sell. Now, so many people, the problem is they don't understand this. They don't understand markets and how they work. And if you can understand this, then it will give you a good basis on knowledge on when to buy and why to buy in that certain area. But I always tell people, if you're real conservative and if you're looking at ways to really increase your assets, the key thing I would always look for is taxes. Okay, that's the first thing I look at before I look at anything. Okay, is go to a country where you got no income tax. Okay, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and then look at how that country compares with other countries that are pure tax havens, and then go from there. Now, yield is going to be based totally on what you pay for the unit. Okay, so that you can't take an average on that. You have to come in and look at what you're actually paying for that property. And it's also going to depend too if you've got a COVID-19 problem or whatever, because that's going to be affected also. But these are things that you need to look at if you're trying to search for a property and get a good rate of return on it. Now, the things that I would be looking at in getting properties, like I've mentioned before, I think when you come to places like this, if you're not living here all the time, you should be getting a place that's either self-contained planned unit development where everything's taken care of for you, or whether it's a development that's real estate, that's a housing development, or it's condos. Either way. But when you buy houses that you're going to have to depend on somebody else to take care of it for you. you know, it's going to be a lot more hassles dealing with it. And remember also, if you get a place that dogs bark all the time, that will affect your rentals, because renters are not going to want to be in a place where the dogs bark all the time. This is another thing you got to look at, and people just don't think about this. You know, if you want to try to control your noise factor, you need to be in a place that's where those, you know, that's controlled. You know, I get notifications from people say, well, Tom, you don't like dogs. No, I'm actually a dog lover. But the key is, do you want to, I'm trying to give you variables. Look at all the monkeys running across the road there. Got them all over the place. These are things that you're going to have to think about. If you don't think about this now, you're going to think about it after you buy the property. That's what I'm trying to tell you now. So you want to be looking for things that are not going to take up your time. This is going to be a pain in the butt for you. You know, this is going to be a real pain later if you don't think about it ahead of time. And you see, look at that little monkey right there. Yeah, he's your good buddy. He's your good buddy. I see him right there, right in the middle of the camera there. He's your good buddy. These are green Fairmont monkeys, just as smart as they can be. Look at him, he's right at the top. They're all over the place down here. There are more monkeys than there are people. Look at him, he's just as friendly. There's another one. Man, there's about 40 in this tree right here. They love these berries. Look at him, he's right here next to me. Yes, he's just a good buddy. He's just a good buddy. He's used to being around. They eat these little, this is fruit berries that they're not poisonous. People can eat them too. But they love eating these things. Look at him, he's just as friendly. He's just as friendly. Yeah, just all over the place. He's got his brother right over here. Yeah, yeah. You move your head, he'll move with you. Yes, he's a good buddy. He's a good buddy. And here's his other. Yes. They look like they've been fed. They look like people feed these things. Anyway, you come down here, folks, you'll see these green Fairmont monkeys all over the place. They're, some of them, they'll come right up to you and they'll just take stuff right out of your hand. You can feed them. They're real sweet. Oh boy. Anyway, so these are things you got to look at, folks. And if you want more information, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit that top bar that says apply with us, and then fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with a lot of citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And don't forget to hit the notification bell next to that subscribe button, and that subscribe button also right below the screen. And we'd like to hear from you, so shoot me a question there if you want. And again, our website is www.citizenshipquickly.com, and I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video, folks. Take care. Bye.